Smith. I am Assistant Director and I am Vice President of YeRudeMechanicals.
And I know you're thinking, what is YeRudeMechanicals? I thought we were at Town and Gown. Well, YeRudeMechanicals is UGA's first and only student group for Shakespearean performance and literary analysis. It was founded back in August of last year. This is our first ever full-length production that we have put on, which is very exciting. So thank you all for being here.
Yes. We're only here tonight thanks to Town and Gown and their second stage program. They've been really, really wonderful in letting us use our space for the past 2 weeks and letting us use our space for these past 3 performances. We want to say thank you a lot to them because this is our very first production and they've been so helpful and we're really, really grateful. So just a round of applause for them.
So before we begin, we just have a couple of house rules. First and foremost, please no flash photography. We took some amazing photos of your kids and your friends over the past couple of dress rehearsals. They're really great. So they'll be all over our social media. You have no need to take pictures tonight. In that same vein, please limit your cell phone use. Please put them on silent. We can definitely see the little blue, glow against your face, and it's very distracting to the actors.
If at any point during the performance you used to go use the restroom or anything, they're right up there, past that green exit side of the curtain. Just be warned that there is going to be actors who are waiting there to make entrances. Yes, we will watch out for you if you watch out for us, but we have a lot of pent-up rage about student debt, so I don't know what's going to happen. Honestly. But if you can, we'd like if you would wait until after intermission, which is going to be about 50 minutes to an hour from now. And in that time, you can go use the restroom, you can just take a break, stretch your legs, or go to our concession stand to buy some concessions, as we do as concession stands.
Yes. Well, I think that pretty much covers it. We're so excited for y'all to see it. So without further ado, we present to you
As You Like It.
I remember, Adam, it was upon this fashion, bequeathed me by will, but poor 1,000 crowns. And, as thou sayest, charged my brother on his blessing to breed me well. And there begins my sadness. My brother Jaques, he keeps at school, and report speaks goldenly of his profit. For my part, he keeps me rustically at home, or, to speak more properly, stays me here at home unkept. For call you that keeping for a gentleman of my birth that differs not from the stalling of an ox? His horses are bred better, for besides that they are fair with the feeding, they are taught their manage, and to that end, riders dearly hired. But I, his brother, gain nothing under him but growth, for the which his animals on his dunghills are as much bound to him as I. Besides this nothing, he so plentifully gives me, the something that nature gave me, his countenance seems to take from me. He lets me feed with his hinds, bars me the place of a brother, as much as in him lies, minds my gentility with my education. This is it, Adam, that which grieves me, and the spirit of my father which I think is within me begins to mutiny against this servitude. I will no longer endure it, for yet I know no wise remedy how to avoid it.
Yonder comes my master, your brother.
Go apart, Adam. Thou shalt hear how he will shake me up.
Now, so, what make you here?
Nothing. I am not taught to make anything.
What more you then, sir?
Marry, sir. I am helping you to mar that which God made, a poor, unworthy brother of yours with idleness.
Marry, sir. Be better employed and be not a while.
Shall I keep your hogs and eat husks with them? What prodigal portion have I spent that I should come to such penury?
Know you where you are, sir.
Aye, sir. Very well. Here, in your orchard.
Know you before whom, sir?
I, better than him I am before, knows me. I know that you are my eldest brother, and in the gentle condition of blood, you should so know me. The courtesy of nations allows you my better in that you are the eldest, but that same tradition takes not away my blood. Were there 20 brothers betwixt us, I have as much of my father in me as you. Howbeit, I confess, your coming before me is nearer to his reverence.
What, boy?
Come, elder brother. You are too young in this.
Wilt thou lay hands on me, villain?
I am no villain! I am the youngest son of Sir Roland de Bois. He is my father. And thou art thrice a villain that says such a man be not villains. Wert thou not my brother, I would not take this hand from thy throat till this other hath pulled out thy tongue for saying so. Thou hast wailed on thyself.
Sweet masters, be patient. For your father's reverence can accord.
Let me go, I say!
I will not! Till I please, you shall hear me. My father charged you in his will to give me good education. You have trained me like a peasant, obscuring and hiding from me all gentlemanlike qualities. The spirit of my father is within me, and I will no longer endure it. Therefore, allow me such exercises as may become a gentleman. Or give me the poor lottery my father hath given me by testament. With that, I will go by my fortunes.
And what wilt thou do? Beg when that is spent? Well, so get you in. I will not long be troubled with you. You have some part of your will. I pray you leave me.
I will no further offend you that becomes me for my good.
You get with him, you old dog.
Is old dog my reward? Most true, I've lost my teeth in your service. God be with my old master, he would not have spoke such a word.
Ugh! Is it even so that they begin to grow upon me? How physic their wankness and give them no 1,000 crowns neither. Allah le Beau.
Called, your worship?
Was not Charles the Duchess Wesley here to speak with me?
Ah, so pleases you, he's here at the door and importunes access to you.
Call him in. 'Twill a good way, and the wrestling will be.
Oh, good morning, your worship.
Good Monsieur Charles. What is the new news of the new court?
Oh, there's no news at the court, sir, but the old news. That is, the old Duke has been banished by his younger sister, the new Duchess. And 3 or 4 loving lords have put themselves into voluntary exile with him, whose lands and revenues enrich the new Duchess. Therefore, she gives them good leave to walk.
And what of Rosalind, the Duke's daughter? Is she to be banished with her father?
Oh, no, for the Duchess's daughter, her cousin, so loves her, being ever from their cradles bred together, that she would have followed her exile or have died to stay behind her. She is at the court, no less beloved of her aunt than her own daughter. And never have 2 ladies looked like they do.
Roll Tide.
Oh.
And where will the old Duke live?
They say he's already in the forest of Arden, and a many merry men with him. And there they live like the old Robin Hood of England. Oh. They say many young gentlemen flock to him every day. They fleet the town carelessly as they did in the Golden Boy.
What, you wrestle before the new Duchess tomorrow?
Marry do I, sir, and I've come to acquaint you with a matter. I am given, sir, secretly, to understand that your younger brother Orlando had disposition to come against me and try a fall. Tomorrow, sir, I'll wrestle for my credit, and any man who escapes me without some broken limb shall acquit him well. Your younger brother is but, young and tender, and for your love I will be loath to foil him as I must if he come in. Therefore I have come hither to acquaint you withal, that you may either stay him from his intendment, or brook such disgraceful as he shall run into, and that it is a thing of his own search and altogether against my will.
Jaques, I thank thee for thy love to me, which I most kindly requite. I myself have noticed in my brother's purpose herein, and by underhand means labored to dissuade him from it, but he is resolute. I had as lief thou didst break his neck as his finger, and thou look to it. For if he mightily disgraces himself, or you mightily grace himself under the deed, he will practice against thee with poison, and trap thee with some treacherous device, and never leave thee to attain thy life by some indirect means or another. And I said, almost with tears, was I speaking, there was none so young and so villainous this day living. But I speak of brotherly of him. If I am to anatomize him as he is to you, I should blush and weep, and you must look pale and wonderful.
I am heartily glad I came hither to you, sir. If he come tomorrow, I'll give him his payment. If he ever walk alone again, I'll never wrestle for prize more, and so God keep your worship.
Farewell, good child.
Oh.
I will store this game store. I hope I shall see the end of him. For my soul, I know not why, hates nothing more than he. Yet he's gentle, born but never taught, full of noble device, all sorts enchantingly beloved in the heart of the world, especially my people, who know him best, that I'm altogether surprised. But this shall not be for long. This wrestle shall clear all. All there is left is me to kindle the boy thither, which I will go about.
I pray thee, Rosalind, sweet my cuz, be merry.
Dear Celia, I show more mirth than I am mistress of, and with you yet I will marry her. Unless you could teach me to forget a banished father, you must not learn me any extraordinary pleasures.
And I see thou lovest me not with the full weight that I love thee. If my uncle, thy father, had banished the Duchess, my mother, so hadst thou still been with me, I could have taught my love to take thy father for mine. So wouldst thou, if thy love to me were so righteously tempered as mine is to thee.
But I will forget the condition of my estate to rejoice in yours.
My mother hath no child but I, nor none is like to have. And truly when she dies, thou shalt be her heir. For what she hath taken away from thy father perforce, I will render thee again in affection. By mine honor I will. And when I break that oath, let me turn monster.
Therefore, my sweet Rose, my dear Rose, be merry. From henceforth I will, cousin. And devise sport. Let me see. What think you of falling in love?
Marry, I prithee do, to make sport withal, but love no man in good earnest, nor no further in sport neither, than with the safety of a pure blush thou mayest in honor come off again.
Well, what shall be our sport then?
Let us sit and mark the good housewife fortune at her wheel, that her gifts may be bestowed equally.
I would we could do so, for her benefits are mightily misplaced, and the bountiful blind woman doth most mistake in her gifts to women.
'Tis true, for those that she makes fair, she scarce makes honest, and those that she makes honest, she makes very ill-favoredly.
Nay, now thou goest from Fortune's office to Nature's. Fortune reigns in the gifts of the world, not in the lineaments of nature.
No, when nature hath made a fair creature, may she not by fortune fall into the fire? Though nature hath given us wit to flatter fortune, hath fortune not sent in this fool to cut off the arguments?
Indeed, there is fortune too hard for nature, when fortune makes nature's natural to cut her off of nature's wit.
Peradventure this is not fortune's work neither, but nature's, who perceiveth our nature wits too dull to reason of such goddesses. And hath said it is natural for our whetstone, for always the dullness of the fool is the whetstone of the wits. How now, wit, whither wander you?
Mistress, you must come away to your mother.
Were you made the messenger?
No, by mine honor, but I was bid to come for you.
Where learned you that oath, fool?
Of a certain knight who swore by his honor they were good pancakes, and swore by his honor the mustard was not. Now I'll stand to it. The pancakes were not, and the mustard was good. And yet was not the knight forsworn.
How prove you that in the great heap of your knowledge?
Ay, Mary, unmuzzle your wisdom.
Stand you both forth now, stroke your chins, and swear by your beards that I am a knave.
Well, by our beards, if we had them, thou art.
By my knavery, if I had it, then I were. But if you swear by that is not, you are not forsworn. No more was this knight swearing by his honor, for he never had any. Or if he did, he had sworn it away before ever he saw those pancakes or that mustard.
Prithee, who is it thou meanest?
One that old Frederick, your mother, loves.
Oh, my mother's love is enough for him. Enough. Speak no more of him. You'll be whipped for taxation one of these days.
More pity, that fools may not speak wisely what wise men do foolishly.
By my troth thou sayest true. For since the little wit the fools have was silence, the little foolery that wise men have makes for a great show. Here comes Monsieur the Beau, with his mouth full of news you have put on us as pigeons feed their young.
Then we shall be news crammed.
All the better, we should be more marketable. Bonjour, Monsieur the Beau, what's the news?
Fair princess, you have lost much good sport.
Sport? Of what color?
What color, madame? How shall I answer you?
As wit and fortune will.
Or as the destinies decree.
Well said. That was laid on with a trowel.
Nay, if I keep not my rank.
Thou losest the old smell.
You amaze me, ladies. I would have told you of good wrestling, which you have lost the sight of.
Tell us the manner of the wrestling.
I will tell you the beginning, and if it pleases your ladyships, you may see the end. For the best is yet to do, and here, where you are, they are coming to perform it.
Well, the beginning, that is dead and buried.
There comes an old man and his 3 sons. Oh, I can match this beginning with an old tale. 3 proper young men of excellent growth and presence.
With bills on their neck, be it known unto all men by these presents.
The eldest of the 3 wrestled with Charles, the Duchess's wrestler, which Charles, in a moment, threw him and broke 3 of his ribs. Then there is little hope of life in him. So he served the 2nd and the 3rd. Yonder they lie, the poor old man, their father, making such a pitiful dole over him that all the beholders take his part with weeping.
Alas!
But what is the sport, monsieur, that the ladies have lost?
Why, this that I speak of?
Thus men may grow wiser every day. For this is the first time that ever I heard breaking of ribs was sport for ladies.
Or I promise thee.
Is there any other who longs to hear the broken music in his sides? Is there yet another who dotes upon rib breaking? Shall we see this wrestling, cousin?
Ah, you must be stay here, for here is the place appointed for the wrestling, and they're ready to perform it.
Yonder, sure they are coming. Let us stay down and see it.
Come on. You will not be entreated until the pharaoh on his forward. Is yonder the man?
Even he, madame.
Alas, he is too young. Yet he looks successfully.
How now, daughter and cousin? Are you crept hither to see the wrestling? Aye, my lady, so please you give us leave. You will take little delight in such There's such odds in the man. In pity of the challenger's youth, I would fain dissuade him, but he will not be entreated. Speak to him, ladies, see if you can move him.
Call him hither, good Monsieur the Beau.
Do so, I'll not be by.
Monsieur the Challenger! The princesses call.
I attend them with all respect and duty.
Good sir, have you challenged Charles the wrestler?
No, fair princess. I come but in, as others do, to try with him the strength of my youth.
Young gentlemen, your spirits are too bold for your years. We pray you to embrace your own safety and give over this attempt. Do so. Your reputation will not therefore be misprized. We will make it our suit to the Duchess that the wrestling might not go forward.
I beseech you, punish me not with your hard thoughts, when I confess me much guilty to deny so fair and excellent ladies anything. But let your fair eyes and gentle thoughts go with me to my trial. Corinn, if I be shamed, there's but one foil that was never patience. If killed, but one dead that was willing to be so. I shall do my friends no wrong, for I have none to lament me. In this world no injury, for in it I have nothing. Only in this place do I take up a spot that may be better supplied when I have made it empty.
The little strength I have, I would it were in you.
And mine to eke out hers.
Fare you well. Pray heaven I be deceived in you. Your heart's desires be with you.
Where is this young gallant so desirous to lie with Mother Earth?
Ready, sir. His will have in it more modest working.
You shall try but one crawl.
No, I'll warn your grace you will not entreat him to a second, when he's been so mightily persuaded from the first.
And you mean to mock me after? You should not have mocked me before, but come your ways.
Hercules be thy speed, young man!
I would I were invisible to catch the strong fellow by the leg.
Oh!
thou hadst been son to some man else. The world esteemed thy father honorable, but I find him still mine enemy. Thou would better please me with his deed, hadst thou descended from another house. But fare thee well, thou art a gallant youth. I would thou hadst told me of another father.
Were I my mother, cuz, would I do this?
I am more proud to be Sir Roland's son. His youngest son would not change that calling to be adopted heir to Frederick.
My father loved Sir Roland as his soul, and all the world was of my father's mind. If I had before known this man to be his son, I would have given him tears into entreaties, ere he should thus have ventured.
Gentle cousin, let us go thank him and encourage him. My mother's rough and envious disposition sticks me at heart. Sir, you have well deserved. If you do keep your promises and love but justly, as you have exceeded all promise, your mistress shall be happy.
Gentlemen? Wear this for me. It's one out of suits with fortune. I could do better, but better hand lacks means. Shall we go, cuz?
Aye. Fare you well, fair gentlemen.
Can I not say I thank you? My better parts are all thrown down, and that which stands up here is but a quintain, a mere lifeless block.
He calls me back. My pride fell with my fortune. I'll ask him what he would. You call, sir. You have wrestled and overthrown more than your enemies.
Will you know,
I
cuz?
have with you. Fare you well.
What passion hangs these weights upon my tongue? I cannot speak to her, yet she urged conference. Oh, Orlando, thou art overthrown, or Charles, or something weaker, master. Oh,
Good, sir. I do in friendship counsel you to leave this place, albeit you have deserved high commendation, true applause, and love. Yet, such is now the Duchess's condition that she misconstrues all you have done. The Duchess is humorous. What she is indeed more suits you to conceive than I to speak of.
I thank you, sir. Pray you, tell me, which of the two is daughter of the Duchess that was here at the wrestling?
Neither if we judge the ladies by their manners. Oh, but yet indeed, the lesser is daughter to the Duchess, the other, daughter to the banished Duke, hereby utained by her usurping aunt to keep her daughter company, whose loves are, endearer than the natural bonds of sisters. But I can tell you that of late the Duchess hath taken malice against her gentle niece, grounded upon no other argument but that the people praise her for her virtues and pity her for her good father's sake. And, on my life, the Duchess's malice against the lady will suddenly break forth. Sir, fare you well. Hereafter in a better world than this, I shall desire more love and knowledge of you.
I rest much bound into you. Fare you well. And thus must I, from the smoke into the smother, from tyrant Duchess to a tyrant brother. Oh, but heavenly Rosalind!
My cousin, Rosalind! You but have mercy, not a word?
Not one to throw at a dog.
No, thy words are too precious to be cast away upon curs. Throw some of them at me. Come, lay me with reasons.
Then there were two cousins laid up, when the one should be laid with reasons and the other mad without any.
But is this all for your father?
No. Some of it is for my child's father. How full of briars is this working day world?
They are but birds, cousin, thrown upon thee in holiday foolery. If we walk not in the trodden path, our very petticoats will catch them.
I could shake them off my coat. These birds are in my heart.
Hem them away.
I would try, if I could cry him and have him.
But turning these just out of service, let us talk in good earnest. Is it possible on such a sudden that you should fall into so strong a liking of Sir Roland's youngest son?
The Duke, my father, loved his father dearly.
Doth it therefore ensue that you should love his son dearly? By this chase I should hate him, for my mother hated his father dearly, yet I hate not Orlando.
You know, Faith, hate him not, for my sake.
Why not? Doth he not deserve well?
Let me love him for that. And you love him because I do. Oh, look, here comes the Duchess.
With her eyes full of anger.
Mistress, dispatch you with the safest haste and get you from our court. Me, aunt. You, cousin. grace, and never so much as in a thought on board did I offend your highness. Thus do all traitors. If their purgation did consist in words, they are as innocent as grace himself. Let it suffice thee that I trust thee not. If your mistrust cannot make me a traitor, tell me whereupon the likelihood depends. Thou art thy father's daughter, there's enough. So was I when your highness took her dukedom. So was I when your highness banished him. Treason is not inherited, my lady, or if we do derive it from our friends. What's that to me? My father was no traitor. Good, my lady. Mistake me not so much to think that my poverty is treacherous.
Dear sovereign, hear me speak.
Aye, Celia, mistake her for your sake. Else her father ranged along.
I did not then entreat to have her stay. It was your pleasure and your own remorse. I was too young at that time to value her, but now I know her. And if she be a traitor, why, so am I. We still have slept together, rose at an instant, learned, played, and ate together. And wheresoever we went, like Juno's swans, stowing like coupled and inseparable.
She is too subtle for thee. Her patience, her very silence, they speak to the people and they pity her. Thou art a fool. She robs thee of thy name. And thou wilt seem more bright and virtuous when she is gone. Then open not thy lips, because firm and irrevocable is my doom which I pass upon her. She is banished.
Pronounce that sentence then on me, my lady. I cannot live out of her company.
You are a fool! You, niece, provide yourself. If you outstay the time, upon mine honor, and in the greatness of my name, you die.
Oh, my poor Rosalind. Whither wilt thou go? Wilt thou change mothers? I will give thee mine. I pray you be not more grieved than I am.
I have more cause.
Thou hast not. Doth you not know that the Duchess hath banished me, her daughter?
That she hath not.
No. Rosalind lacks then the love that teaches thee that thou and I are one. Shall we be sundered? Shall we part, sweet girl? No. Let my mother seek another heir. Therefore, devise with me how we may fly, whither to go and what to bear with us. And do not take it upon yourself to bear your change alone and leave me out. For by this heaven, now that our sorrow is pale, say what thou canst. I'll go with thee.
Why, whither shall we go?
To seek my uncle in the forest of Arden.
Alas! What danger will it be to us there? Maids as we are to travel forth so far. Beauty provoketh thieves sooner than gold.
I'll dress myself in a poor and mean attire. The like do you. And so we shall pass along and never stir assailants.
Were it not better, since I am more than common Tarl, and did suit me all points like a man. I will have a gallant curtal axe upon my thigh, a boar spear in my hand, and in my heart lie there what hidden woman's fear their will. You will have a swashing and martial outside, as many other mannish cowards do outface it with their semblances.
What shall I call thee when thou art a man?
I will have no worse name than Job's own page. Therefore, look, you call me Ganymede. But what will you be called?
Something that hath a reference to my current state. No longer Celia, but Alien. Aliena.
What if we essayed to steal the clownish fool out of your mother's court? Would he not be a comfort to our travels?
He'll go o'er the wide world with me. Leave me alone to woo him. Let's away and get our jewels and our wealth together and devise the fittest time and the safest way to hide us from pursuit that will be made after my flight. Now go we in content to liberty and not to banishment.
Now, my comrades and brothers in exile, hath the old custom made this life more sweet than that of painted pine? Are these woods more free from peril than the envious courts?
I would not change it.
Happy is your grace that can translate the stubbornness of fortune into so quiet and so sweet a style.
Come, shall we go and kill us a venison? Yet it irks me. The poor dappled fools being native birders of this desert city, what of their own confines with forked heads have their brown haunches borne.
And the melancholy Jaques weaves at this, and swears in kind that you do more yourself than doth your sister who had banished you here. My lord Amiens and I did still behind her, as she lay under an oak whose antique roots peeped above the brook that bores along this forest. And there stood a poor, sad, sequestered stag that, by hunter's aim, had ta'en a hole. And it began to languish, indeed, my lord. It gave forth such groans that after discharge stretched its leathern coat almost to bursting, and its big round eyes coursed one another down its innocent nose in pitiless chase. And the hairy fool, much marked by the melancholy Jaques, stood at the extremest edge of the brook, augmenting it with tears.
But what said Jaques? Did she not moralize the spectacle? Oh yes, into 1,000 similes. First first weeping into the needless stream. Poor dear, quoth she, thou makest a testament as worldlings do by giving thy son of more to that which hath too much, than being there alone, left and abandoned by his velvet friends. 'Tis right, quoth she, doth misery doth part the flux of company. And anon a careless herd full of the pasture sweeps along by him, but never stops to greet him. Aye, quoth she, sweep along, you fat and greasy citizens. 'Tis just the fashion. Wherefore do you look upon that poor and broken bankrupt there? And thus most invectively she pierceth through the body of country, city, court, and of this our life says that we are mere usurpers and tyrants, and what's worse, to fright the animals and to kill them up in their assigned and native dwelling place.
And did you leave her in this contemplation?
Indeed, my lord, weeping and commenting over the sobbing deal.
Show me the place. I love to cope her in so in bits, but then she's full of matter.
I'll bring you to her.
Straight.
Can it be possible that no man saw them? It cannot be. Some villains of my court are consent and sufferance in this.
I cannot hear of any who did see her, milady. The ladies, the attendants of her chamber, saw her abed, and in the morning early found the bed untreasured of their mistress. Milady, the royal cloud at whom your grace was so often wont to laugh, is also missing. Hesperia, the princess's gentlewoman, confesses that she secretly overheard your daughter and her cousin much commend the parts and graces of the wrestler that did but lately foil the sin of Charles. And she believes that wherever they are gone, that you will surely in their company.
Find out thy brother. Fetch that gallant hither. If he be absent, bring his brother to me. I'll make him find her. Do this suddenly, and let not search and inquisition fail to bring again these fools. Run away!
Oh, who's that? My young master, my sweet master, my gentle master.
Why, what's the matter?
Your brother hath heard your praises, and this night he means to burn your lodging where you used to lie, and you within it. And if he fails that, he has other means to cut you off. I overheard him in his practices. This is no place, this house is but a butchery. Abhor and fear, do not enter it.
Why, whither, Adam, wouldst thou have me go?
No matter whither, so you come not here.
What? Wouldst thou have me go and beg my food? Or with a base and boisterous sword enforce a thievish living on the common road? This I must do, or know not what to do. Yet this I will not do. Do how I can. I rather will subject myself to the malice of a diverted blood and bloody brother.
But do not so. I have the 500 crowns. The thrifty hire I saved under your father. Here's the gold. And in all this I give you. Let me go with you. Though I look old, I'm strong and lusty. I'll do all the work of a younger man in your business and necessities.
Oh, good old man. How well in thee appears the constant service of the antique world, but service but for duty, not for need. Were it not for the fashion of these times, where none will sweat before promotion. But come thy ways, we'll go along together, and ere we have thy youthful wages spent, we'll light upon some settled low content.
Master, go on. I'll follow you to the last breath with truth and loyalty. From 17
here will I live no more. At 17 years, many their fortunes seek, but at almost fourscore it is too late a week. Yet fortune could not recompense me better than to die well, and not my master's debtor.
I'm weary on my spirits.
I care not for my spirits if my legs were not weary.
I could find it in my heart to disgrace my man's apparel and to cry like a woman. Doublet and oath ought to show itself courageous to petticoat. Therefore, courage, good alien.
I pray you bear with me. I cannot go no further.
Oh, for my part, I'd rather bear with you than bear you. Yet I should bear no cross if I did bear you, for I think you have no money in your purse.
So this is the forest of Arden.
Aye, now am I in Arden, the more fool I. When I was at home, I was in a better place. But travelers must be content.
Aye, be so good, Touchstone.
Look who comes here. An old man and a young in solemn talk.
That is the way to make her scorn you still.
Corinn, that thou knewest how I did love her.
Well, I partly guess, for I have loved her now.
No, Corinn, being old, thou canst not guess. Though in thy youth thou wert as true a lover as ever sighed upon a midnight pillow, but if ever thy love were like to mine, as sure I am that never did man love so. How many actions most ridiculous have you been drawn into by your fantasy?
Oh, into 1,000 that I have forgotten.
And thou hast not loved most heartily. If thou rememberest not the slightest folly that your love did make thee run into, thou hast not loved. Or if thou hast not sat, as I do now, wearying thy hearer in thy mistress's praise, thou hast not loved. Or if thou hast not broke from company abruptly, as my passion now makes me, thou hast not... Y'all fake, it's love!
This shepherd's passion is much upon my fashion.
And mine, but it grows something stale with me.
I pray you, one of you question the odd man. If he would give for gold, will give us any food. I faint almost to death.
Holla, you clown!
Peace, you fool, he's not thy kinsman.
Who calls?
Your betters, sir.
Oh, well, so they're very, wretched.
Peace, you fool. Good evening to you, friend.
Good evening to you. To you all.
I pray you, if that love or gold can in this desert place buy entertainment, bring us where we may rest ourselves and feed. Here's a young maid with travel much oppressed who faints for succor.
Fair sir, I pity her, and wish for her sake more than mine own that my fortunes were more able to relieve her. I am shepherd to another man. I do not share the fleeces that I raise. My master is of churlish disposition, little wrecks to find the way to heaven doing deeds of hospitality. Besides, his coat, his flocks and gowns of feed are for sale. At our sheepcote now, by means of his absence, there is nothing for you to feed on. What is, come see, and in my voice most welcome shall you be.
Who is he that shall buy the flock and pasture?
That young swain you saw here? Well, who cares for buying anything?
If it stand with honesty, buy thou the cottage, pasture, and the flock, and thou shalt have to pay for it of us.
And will amend my wages. I like this place and could willingly waste my time in it.
Oh, assuredly the thing is to be sold. Go with me, and if upon report you like the soil, the profit, and this way of life, your very faithful feeder I will be, and buy it with your gold right suddenly. This way.
Under the greenwood tree, who loves to lie with me, and turn his merry note unto the sweet bird's throats. Come hither, come hither, come hither.
can suck melancholy out of a song as a weasel sucks eggs. More, I prithee, more.
My voice is ragged. I know it cannot please you.
I do not desire you to please me. I do desire you to sing. Come, another stanza. Call you them stanzas?
What you will, Jaques.
Nay, I care not for their names. They owe me nothing. Will you sing?
More at your request than to please myself.
Well, then, if I ever thank any man, I'll thank you. For that which they call compliment is like the encounter of two dog apes. And when a man gives me heartily thanks, methinks I have given him a penny, and he renders me the beggarly thanks. Come, sing, and you that will not, hold your tongues.
I'll end the song. Sirs, cover the while. The Duke will drink under this tree. He hath been on stay to look you.
And I have been on the stage to avoid him. He is too disputable for my company. I think of as many matters as he, but I give heaven thanks and make no boast of them. Come, horrible, come.
Who doth ambition shun, loves to live in the sun, seeking the food that he eats and pleased with what he gets. Come hither, come hither, come hither, come hither. You shall he see no enemy, but winter and rough weather.
I'll give you a verse to this note that I wrote yesterday in spite of my invention.
And I'll sing it.
Thus it goes.
If it do come to pass that any man turn ass, leaving his wealth and his ease, a stubborn will to please, Duke Dame, Duke Dame, Duke Dame, Duke Dame. Here shall he see gross fools as he, and if he will come to me.
And what is that? What is that, Duke Dame?
'Tis a Greek invocation to call fools into a circle. I'll go sleep if I can. If not, I'll rail against all the firstborn of Egypt.
I will go seek the Duke. His banquet is prepared.
I can go no further. Oh, I die for food. Here, I lay down and measure out my grave. Farewell, kind master.
Why, how now, Adam? No greater heart in thee. Live a little. Comfort a little. Cheer thyself a little. If this uncouth forest yield anything savage, I will either be food for it or bring it for food to thee. Thy conceit is nearer death than thy powers. For my sake, be comfortable. Hold death at arm's end. I will be with thee presently. And if I bring thee not something to eat, I will give thee leave to die. But if thou diest before I return, thou art a mocker of my labor. Well said. Thou must surely. But thou liest in the bleak air. Come, I will bear thee to some shelter, and thou shalt not die for a lack of a dinner. If there be anything in this desert, here we put out.
Think she be transformed into a beast, for I can nowhere find her like a man.
Indeed, my lord. But she is gone hence now. She was merry hearing of a song.
If she, compact of jars, grows musical, and we shall have shortly discord in the speakers. Go seek her. Tell her I wish to speak with her.
She says my labor with her own approach.
Why, how now, Jaques? What world is this that your friends must woo your company? Much look merrily.
A fool! A fool! I met a fool in the forest! A motley fool! Oh, miserable world! As I too live by food, I met a fool who laid him down and basked him in the sun and railed on Lady Fortune in good terms, in good set terms, and yet a fool. Good morrow, fool, quoth I. No, ma'am, quoth he, call me not fool till heaven hath sent me fortune. And then he pulled a dial from his poke, and looking on it with lackluster eye, says very wisely, it is 10 o'clock. Thus we may see how the world wags. 'Tis but an hour ago since it was 9, and after 1 hour more 'twill be 11, and then from hour to hour we ripe, and from hour to hour we rot, and thereby hangs the tale. When I did hear the motley fool thus moral on the time, my lungs began to crow like chanticleer that fools should be so deep contemplative, and I did laugh since intermission an hour by his dial. Oh, noble fool, oh, worthy fool, motley's the only wear.
And what fool is this?
A worthy fool, one that has been a courtier, and says, if ladies be but young and fair, they have the gift to know it. And in his brain, which is as dry as the remainder biscuit after a voyage, he hath many places crammed with observation, the likes of which he vents in mangled forms. Oh, that I were a fool! I am ambitious for a motley coat!
Well, thou shalt have one.
It is my only suit, provided that you weed your better judgments. If all opinion that grows rank in them that I am wise, give me leave to speak my mind, and I will cleanse the foul body of the infected world if they will patiently receive my medicine. But who comes here?
Forbear, and eat no more.
Why, I have eaten none yet.
Nor shall not, till necessity be served.
Of what kind should this cock come of?
Art thou thus bolden, man, by thy distress, or else a rude despiser of good manners, that incivility thou seemest so empty?
You have touched my point at first. The thorny vein of bare distress hath obtained from me the show of smooth civility. Yes, am I inland bred and know some nurture? But forbear! He dies that touches any of this fruit till I and my affairs are answered.
And you will not be answered with reason. I must die!
What would you have? Your gentleness shall force more than your force move us to gentleness.
I almost die for food, and let me have it!
Sit down and feed, and welcome to our table.
Speak you so gently? Pardon me, I pray you. I thought that all things had been savage here, and therefore put I on the countenance of stern commandment. Hadst thou looked on better days, let gentleness my strong enforcement be, in which hope I blush and hide myself.
Oh, true it is that we have seen better days, and therefore sit you down in gentleness, and take upon command what help we have that to your wanting may be ministered.
Then but forbear a little while as like a doe I go to find my fawn. There was an old poor man, who after me hath limped many a weary step in pure love, till he be first sufficed, afflicted with 2 weak evils, age and hunger. I will not touch a bit.
Go find him out. You will nothing waste till you return.
Thank ye, and be blessed for your good comfort.
Thou seest we are not all alone unhappy. This wide and universal theater presents more woeful pageants than the ones we play.
All the world's a stage. And all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. And then the schoolboy with satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. And then the soldier, full of strange oaths, bearded like the pard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick and quarrel-seeking, the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly, with good caping mind, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut, full
includes wise saws and modern instances, and so he plays his part. The sixth age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon with spectacles on nose and couch on side. His youthful hose, well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank, and his big manly voice turning again towards childish treble pipes and whistles in a sound. Last scene of all, that ends this strange, eventful history, is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans taste, sans eyes, sans everything.
Ah, welcome. Set down your venerable burden and let him feed.
I thank you most, Fran.
Yes, welcome. Fall 2, I will not trouble you. Is it to question you of your fortunes? Give us some music, and, good cousin, sing.
Blow, blow, thou winter wind, thou art not so unkind, and man's ingratitude, thy tooth is not so keen, because thou art not clean, although thy breath be rude.
Hey ho, sing hey ho, and to the green holly, was much of his fame, was loving your folly. Then hey ho, the holly, the sight was jolly.
Freeze, freeze, thou winter sky, that doth not light so nigh, as benefits for God. Though thou the waters pour, thy king is not so sharp, as friends remember not.
Hey ho, sing hey ho, and to the green holly, was much of his fame, was loving your folly. Then hey ho, the holly, his life is most jolly.
If you are indeed the good Sir Roland's son, as you whispered faithfully that you were, and as mine eyes doth his effigies witness, most truly lived and living in your face, be truly welcome hither. I am the Duke that loved your father. The residue of your fortunes, go to my cave and tell him. Old man, thou art right welcome as thy master is. Support him by the arm. Give me your hand, and let me all your fortunes understand.
Hey ho, sing hey ho, and to the green holly, most right of his fame, most loving your folly. Then